And once again, another episode coming to you Saturday, January 18th, I believe. Another day, another podcast. Keep it coming all week, even the weekend. Like I said, I wouldn't lie to you. Keep it coming all week long. But today, man, Carolina, I was watching the Carolina game earlier, and I don't know, man. Carolina's not looking too good this year. They lost to Pitt, University of Pittsburgh, and that's like one team like you don't expect them to lose to, and I don't know what's going on this year. I don't know if they're just the recruits or some's not ticking over there. You can kind of look, and when you watch the game, and you can tell that the team isn't the normal Carolina team, and that they either got to get their recruiting better or get some chemistry, or I'm not sure. I think Cole Anthony might have gotten hurt, but I don't think so. But he's supposed to be their star player, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but they lost. I believe they're 9-8 now, which is probably the worst. I've never seen them start out this bad, but it's a chance that they can maybe get back on track and turn the season around. But they got to hurry up and do that, because the way it's looking right now, I don't see any type of championship coming this year. But you never know. You never know what can happen. It's still Carolina. It can always be a switch. I'm not sure how good Duke is doing, but I'm pretty sure they're doing better than what Carolina has displayed so far this season. Like I said in another podcast, this isn't a sports podcast, by the way. This is just a podcast. I just cover different trends, topic. I might not even cover a topic. I might just talk about anything. But thank you for tuning in. But they're going to, I don't know. I feel like Roy is maybe losing his touch. And you can't really blame Roy when the team's not playing well. But at the same time, I feel like Roy is getting old. He's been there for a while, and it's just something's not clicking this year. And they need to figure that out, because I'm a Carolina fan. I like to see them do well, and for them not to be executing like they usually do, be that primetime, Showtime team, is kind of unsettling. And hopefully they can turn the season around. But honestly, I haven't been watching a lot of college basketball. I was big on college football, and college football is something that I really enjoy. I remember growing up playing NCAA 07. I would play with West Virginia Mountaineers. I'm not sure the name of the quarterback. Then he's probably still in the league. I have to look it up, and see who that was. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't Gino Bernard. But dang, I gotta look that up now. I gotta find out who that was. I believe, but I don't know, that quarterback, it was the quarterback for West Virginia on NCAA 07 college football, and it was the running back on Boise State. He had a big play in the Fiesta Bowl when he scored a touchdown, the running back for Boise State, and he asked his girlfriend to marry him right after they won the game, and he, scored the winning touchdown. I don't know how he, queued that up, or because she was a cheerleader. I don't know how he ended up. I guess he said, if we win, I'm going to do this, but the way it happened, he scored the winning touchdown, and then he went and proposed, and it was just like the perfect moment. And they make him like one of the best running backs in that game, and I will always use him to beat everybody. I wasn't losing on NCAA 07. That's one game that I used to take pride in. And the sad part about it, they don't even make college games anymore, because they figure you're like profiting off of the athlete. Let me see. College NCAA. No, fuck that. West Virginia football 07. We will find out who the quarterback was, man. It's a black quarterback. He's probably still in the league right now. QB. Once again, go on YouTube if you want to see all this. It's like I said, it's a different experience watching this on YouTube. And you can see I'm searching, looking things up. But I'm pretty sure, dang, it was his number was number 7. I remember that. I just don't know his name. I know somebody's probably listening right now. It was blah, 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 blah. But I don't even remember. But make sure you guys go on YouTube and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go on Apple Podcasts and also hit that subscribe button so you get a notification when the podcast is coming out. Make sure you also go on Spotify and all other streaming platforms so you can keep up with the podcast and what's going on. And make sure you go on Instagram and follow me at SwisherENT. And Let's do that. Pat White is what we have right here. Pat White. I do not remember Pat White, but let's see. Pat White. Apparently it was Pat White. Yeah. Pat White. He said he got drafted round 244 overall of the 2009 NFL draft by the Miami Dolphins. Pat White. It does sound familiar though. Now that I think about it. Let me see if because if he's not a black dude, then he's not the right person. Pat White. I don't know if he's still in the league. He's probably not. If he was drafted in 2009, quarterbacks they had a lot of hype in college, and only so many of them really make it in the league. So yeah, it was definitely Pat White. He was a great quarterback back at West Virginia. So yeah, no, so it wasn't number 7, it was number 5. That's crazy. Is he still in the league? Nah, he's not still in the league. But yeah, man, Carolina gotta get it together, and hopefully they, like I said, get it together, win the ACC championship, and win the national championship. But that'll be a miracle off of what they're looking like right now, man. It's kind of a shame. What else is on in the news? The baby apparently assaulted someone in a hotel. From what I read on what his side of the story is that he was with his daughter and somebody was trying to record a video of him in the hotel, and he told the dude, like, don't record a video right now because I don't want to give away my location and the hotel and I'm with my daughter. So the dude left, and then apparently the dude recorded him from like 50 feet away and zoomed in. So the baby went up to him and was like, yo, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. Told him to delete it. And then somehow he went inside and said he set him down and told him to delete it, blah, blah, blah. You know, I read that. And then I saw on the video that was on Instagram, he like pushed him in a chair. And, you know, you're a celebrity. You got to be extra careful. You can't be just putting your hands on anybody because quick to sue you, especially when you're as famous as he is. So, you know, hopefully he'll get through it, man. Hopefully he won't get sued. Hopefully he won't get in trouble. You know, when you get that famous and you have that much money, people start to mess with you just to get a check. And it's kind of embarrassing, if you ask me, for people to do anything just to get clout or notoriety. And, you know, the baby's always getting something. He's always getting in some type of trouble. It seems like lately he just got out of jail for having to get some money back from a promoter that didn't pay him, and you know the promoter definitely sued, so he's probably still fighting that case. So, you know, having case on top of case, that costs money. You gotta have lawyers, you gotta have the right people to help you get out of these situations. So he's spending a lot of money getting in these altercations. You know what I'm saying? He got it, but still, you don't want to waste your money on things that can be avoided. So shout out to the baby, and hopefully he gets through his situation. He's having a great year, man. I remember back when he was at North Carolina Central University for a show, and my cousin had went, and he had told me, he was like, we got the baby coming and some other people. I'm like, who is the baby? Like, who is the baby? I never heard of the baby before. And a few months later, less than a year, he was blowing up. You know, I'm not sure what his first record was, but he was one of the biggest. It might have been Suge. It might have been the record that blew up, but it was something before that. And now he's one of the biggest artists, if not the biggest artist in, you know, rap artists in the world, or one of, not in the world, because Drake, you know, you got the Drakes, the J. Cole's, the Kendricks and stuff, but for, I don't want to say SoundCloud rap, but for the young dudes who kind of like in that kind of lane, you know, like the Baby and Lil Baby and all those Moneybagg Yo, all those type of guys, he's definitely at the top, and he's running shit right now. So shout out to the Baby, shout out North Carolina. You know, I got my Panther shirt on. Shout out Charlotte, North Carolina. You know, Charlotte's really blowing up. Charlotte's like the new city, man. It really needs to be the capital. It's a really nice city, man. So to have the Baby come out of there is great for North Carolina and for Charlotte. So shout out to Charlotte, man. Shout out to Charlotte. Stephen A. Smith is only getting $8 million. Only getting $8 million, man, For those of you who know who Stephen A. Smith is, he is a sports personality. He has a talk show, he has a radio show. But if you ever turn to ESPN, he's always on ESPN. He's always a part. He pretty much is. They call him Mr. ESPN because I don't know anybody else who's on ESPN as much as he is. But he's one of a big, like I said, a big personality on the network. You know, I don't want to say on the show because he's on so many different shows, and he's getting 8 million, which I feel like is very low for someone who's not really sure for what other people are getting to be on these networks. For as much work as Stephen A. Smith does, and for as much as he's shown, you know, as much for work he does, he's only getting 8 million. And they were talking about giving this quarterback, I'm not sure what his name was, but 10 million or more to be on like 2 or 3 times a week, which Stephen A. Smith is on ESPN all the time. And I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how he it isn't fair how much Stephen A. Smith is getting compared to what some of these white counterparts are getting, who are trying to do the same thing but like way less work for a lot more money. And I'm not sure the other benefits Stephen A. Smith got in his contract. He maybe got like some type of deal where he can do whatever he wants. He can be creative. I don't know. It may be like less money for more creativity and more freedom. I'm not sure. You know, you never know the exact contract. But for as much as Stephen A. Smith is on SportsCenter, I feel like he should be getting 10 or more. You know, and I'm pretty sure he's getting offers from Fox Sports, CBS, and all these other places to, because Fox Sports, they're trying to get anybody over there. You know what I'm saying? They dropped that bag. I'm pretty sure he can go anywhere. So I'm pretty sure ESPN gave him a pretty good deal and contract for him to accept 8. I heard he was asking for 10. He got 8. So they must have gave him other things to go with the 10 to 8 million, with the 8 million, obviously, within his contract. But, you know, in the future, it's nice to see how much he'll be getting and how long he'll be on ESPN. And to see someone like him is very inspiring. You know, he gets up there, he's himself. He gets to be his personality. He gets to do what he loves. And, you know, it's very inspirational to see someone like Stephen A. Smith who work hard, you know. So he's before the internet, you know. He had to really work hard and do the things, the building blocks and the steps to get where he is. You know, I watched a little documentary on him, and you guys should go check it out. I think it's on YouTube, and he just talks about how he had to like intern in a couple of places and how he went out his way and how he was young and how he, you know, they didn't think he was even going to go to school. And he went to Winston-Salem State University, which is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So once again, shout out to North Carolina producing great, talented people. But yeah, Stephen A. Smith, ESPN sportscaster, should get way more than 8 million. You guys go tag Swisher ENT under his post so that he know that I'm talking about how he should get more than 8 million. Maybe he'll give me a spot up there at ESPN, which I don't know if I would take that because I'm not really a sports type. That's not really what I want to talk about. So even though I love sports, I love football. I grew up playing football, grew up playing basketball, grew up playing all types of sports. I don't know if necessarily sports is the main topic I would want to talk about all the time. But shout out to Stephen A. Smith, man. I was on Instagram, I was scrolling, and, you know, I had talked about this yesterday, that Bad Boys for Life. You know, I still haven't seen the movie yet. Shout out to those of you who have seen it. Let me know what you think about it. You know, I definitely want to see it soon, but I don't want to, don't spoil it for me. You know, I got a bunch of DMs about the movie. I got a bunch of DMs about questions about the podcast. I got some DMs about people want to get on the podcast. You know, I'm going to get back to you once I figure out how I'm going to get you guys on the podcast. I definitely want to do like a call-in type of leave a message or even live call-in type of thing on the podcast. I feel like that would be cool to have people be able to call in here and, you know, do all that. But I just have to figure out how to execute that. So definitely keep DMing me. I see the DMs. I'm definitely going to answer the DMs. I'm not ignoring them. It's just I got to figure out how I'm going to get you guys on the podcast, and I'm definitely going to answer all of your questions. But yeah, it's a Bad Boys 4 in the works already. I believe the first box office, it must have did it very well. All that promoting and press run that Martin Lawrence and Will Smith did. Will been on Instagram killing it for the last year or two, and it just shows you the power of social media and the power of radio and the power of just getting out there and pushing your product so it can be at the top and the best you can be. It is Will Smith, but he's trying to make a comeback. He's definitely on that road to being one of the top actors. And, shout out to Will Smith, shout out to Martin Lawrence for making such a great movie and deciding to bring back a classic that we all love, Bad Boys for Life. If this one is Bad Boys for Life, I wonder what the next one's going to be called. Bad Boys for Life 2 or fucking 4, Bad Boys for Life 4. But, I definitely got to go see it. And then once I see it, I'm definitely going to talk about it on here. I'm going to give you a little bit more because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I was going to go see it yesterday, but I didn't want to get on here and spoil it for people who are listening. So, hurry up and go see if you're listening to it, this podcast right now, so I can go and definitely talk about the movie and everything on the podcast. And we keep it moving. A man in Michigan found 42 grand in a couch he got from a thrift store, and he returns it to the thrift store. And I know you got to do the right thing, but I feel like how many people would actually find something like that in a store, in a thrift store, in a couch, and then return it. What I just find that crazy. Like, what are you doing by returning it? Like, you bought the couch, so therefore it's your couch, therefore it's your property. Returning that money that was in that couch, who's that money gonna go to? You donate it to the thrift store. I guess they're gonna find the people that dropped the couch off, and then tell them. Or if I don't even know, when you drop stuff off at Goodwill, I'm not sure if they take your ID, take your name down. I'm not sure if it works like that. So it's probably going to be hard finding the people that, dropped the couch off. But at the same time, I don't know if I would have returned that money. I don't know if I would have returned that money because that's a lot of money just to be in a couch in a safe. 42 grand, and it lets you know there's some good people out here who will do the right thing, and necessarily that's may or may not be the right thing, but they returned 42 grand. I'm not sure if it was more than that. It could have been 100, and they only returned 42. But who knows? You never know, man. You mess around and find an old mattress and stuff with money in it. You or an old box spring. You luck up. So don't just go around opening up old mattresses and see if there's money in it, even though there may be. I was watching a documentary on just like drug lords and Pablo Escobar and all those guys, and they would hide money anywhere. It's probably still money all around the U.S. and even in Colombia, just in the ground, hundreds of millions of dollars that they can't. Obviously, you can't put that money in banks, so they have to bury it. They have to put it in safes. They have to do whatever to hide the money, until they can clean it. And I've even heard stories of some of these drug lords burning the money because they just have so much of it. They can't. What do you do with $1 billion dollars in cash? You're gonna run out of places to stash it. So there's probably barrels and barrels of money. Certain places that you probably just walking around and you may be passing by 100 grand that's buried in the ground in a suitcase or in like a time capsule right under you. You would never know. And I just find that very fascinating. So much money out here, and like it's just what people do with it, and all this money. And I was telling someone the other day, I was like, so much money, so many billionaires. Jeff Bezos is $100 and some billion, and it's just so many homeless people in California and around the world, but mostly California. And it's just like it's just not even out in America. Obviously people work hard to get that $100 million, but there's also people that's just, when I was in California, I got to the airport, I had we took a Uber to the hotel. We had to go through South Central, was it? South Central, yeah, I believe it was the hood. But the amount of homeless people and the amount of people who are just on drugs and just zombified. It was this woman who was just out of it, just walking across the street. She could have easily got hit by a car. And I've never seen anything like that in my life. You know, where I'm from, you don't see that as much as bad as it was out there. I saw someone drink out of digging through the trash can and drink and eat some food straight out the trash can. And it was I don't know. It was a very eye opener. It was it was a culture shock. You know, it really let me know people are out here really going through a lot and really just going. It can get worse. You know, so whatever you're going through in your life right now, just know that someone is going through something way worse. You know, it can always get worse. That doesn't mean stop trying and settle for what. Just know that someone always going through something worse, and to take what you have and make the best out of it. If you have the will, you have the access, if you have the things that you need to work and get where you want to be, take advantage of that and do what you got to do. But once again, this is Switch Your Podcast, another episode. I'm gonna give you that cool 20 minutes every day. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go on YouTube. Make sure you also go on Instagram and follow me at SwisherENT. You keep up with the podcast and what's going on. Check out the story. I know my story, I constantly post on the story, so make sure you guys check that out. But once again, this is Switch Your Podcast, and I'm out.